All right, so this is part two of the video lecture on setting and conflict. Just a couple things I want to finish up. So from that reading in from Fight Club, which was the first like page and a half of the book, a lot has happened already. We get the conflict. We have Tyler holding a gun in the narrator's mouth, and we know that they used to be best friends. Setting, we know that they're in this building. Project Mayhem is destroying every scrap of history down below. And we know that this building won't be here in 10 minutes. So we get conflict, we get our main characters, and we get setting all within that first page and a half. So it makes it a very effective beginning because it's very tense from the first sentence. The first sentence is, Tyler gets me a job as a waiter, and then Tyler's pushing a gun in my mouth. And if you've ever seen the movie, it plays out fantastically well. That scene plays out fantastically well. It is a very effective ending. I mean, very effective beginning. It establishes all those things that we need to have. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is how to structure your dialogue. So when you're writing dialogue, you really need to listen. Writing dialogue is hard. You have to listen to the way people speak with each other. Most people don't actually speak with each other. They more speak at each other. So sometimes dialogue is at cross purposes. Sometimes it doesn't match up. Like if you have a character asking a question, the other character would not be, well, why, yes, blah, 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 blah. We often speak in clipped phrases. We often don't pay attention, and sometimes our dialogue doesn't line up. Now, for the actual formatting, I'm going to show you this. So this is a passage from the novel I'm writing right now. I introduce my friend here. Well, the main character introduces his friend here. And then they start talking about Charles Bukowski, a writer. So here we said his poetry is infantile bullshit. I say, again, first person narrator, the rawness is what gives them power. We know that that's Nick speaking, so we don't need attribution. Yeah. So there's a way. It's not always he said, she said, that sort of thing. There's ways that you can also build other clues into your dialogue. For example, in this sentence, I glance away. That fucker could write a short story. So we know that the narrator's talking. But what you really need to notice is that as we go through this, think of dialogue as whenever you're watching, like when you're watching TV and two characters are speaking. The camera pans back and forth between so and so when they're talking. Then this person talks. Then this person talks. But even if it's just to show, a reaction or a facial expression, you start a new paragraph. So every time that focus shifts, you need to start a new paragraph. So, yeah, Jesus, Nick says, chewing loudly. So when is it going to happen here? What? You know what I mean. Oh, soon, I think, any day now. I gaze out the window, a chill hanging in the autumnal air, leaves clinging to branches, grasping for self-awareness in the early afternoon luster. So we know that this paragraph is all focused on me. This paragraph is all focused on me. And you can kind of just see how, every time that focus shifts, there needs to be a new paragraph. Okay. All right. And I believe that might be all I have. Yes. Yep. That's it. So this is the ending to part 2.